Breaking news in the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively court case. A judge has ruled on the protective order. This is a big deal.
Who won? Well, I think it's a bit more complicated.
Blake Lively's own lawyer has dropped a bombshell, releasing what insiders are already calling bribery receipts. These documents allegedly revealed proof of under-the-table payoffs and secret deals that have sent shockwaves through the A-list world. According to sources, Blake Lively is now in full-blown panic mode, scrambling desperately to contain the fallout. As her darkest secrets spill into the public eye, it's becoming clear that the Hollywood star we all thought was untouchable might not be so golden after all. We're talking about serious accusations, bribing judges and officials, paying hush money to silence critics, and a frantic attempt to keep it all buried beneath a shiny, perfectly curated public image. But now, the evidence is out, and it's pointing directly at Blake Lively. It seems that her carefully crafted persona may have been just that, a carefully crafted lie. Just how far did Blake Lively go to secure her fame and fortune? The fallout from these bribery receipts could not only ruin her career, it could land her in criminal hot water. The stakes have never been higher, and the intrigue surrounding her every move is only growing. Bribery, betrayal, a Hollywood star caught red-handed. This is shaping up to be one of the biggest scandals in Tinseltown history. A story that's developing minute by minute, and you won't want to miss a single twist in this breaking Hollywood nightmare. Blake Lively has made an absolute mess of herself. She thought she could waltz into court, toss out a few fake stories, and then just walk away with her golden reputation intact. But she didn't expect people to start paying attention to the details of her nonsense. Now, her reputation is crumbling so fast that anyone still defending her looks like a fool. What started as a simple dispute has morphed into a full-blown scandal, one dripping with bribery claims, shady evidence, and her desperate attempts to manipulate the system. Every time she pulls a new move, she just looks more and more like someone willing to do anything to dodge the truth. From the very start, Blake played the victim. She pointed her finger at Justin Baldoni, painting him as the villain, promising she had all the evidence, all the receipts to back up her claims. But as the receipts keep coming in, the real ones, it's clear she's the one with something to hide. Blake promised she could prove Justin Baldoni had caused her all sorts of problems, but guess what? She didn't. In fact, it didn't take long for people to see that she was just saying whatever she thought would earn her sympathy. She made grandiose claims, but when people started asking for proof, she couldn't deliver. So, what did she do? She changed her story over and over, thinking no one would notice. At first, she claimed there was this horrifying dance scene that supposedly showed how she was forced to do things against her will. She made it sound like that clip was some kind of smoking gun. But when the full video leaked, it told an entirely different story. There she was, dancing around like she was having the time of her life, smiling, relaxed, not a care in the world. She didn't look scared or uncomfortable at all. She looked like she was doing her job as an actress. Once that hit the internet, people started going, "Wait a second, this doesn't match the narrative Blake was pushing." That was the first glaring sign that something wasn't right. But did Blake admit she was wrong? Of course not. Instead, she doubled down. Suddenly, she claimed that Baldoni wasn't in character during the scene, and that she had to pretend to like him. That was her new excuse. The dance scene wasn't the issue anymore. Oh no, it was his fault for not sticking to the script. Legal experts quickly pointed out how ridiculous that was. Being an actress means pretending to like people on camera, if the scene calls for it. So her entire lawsuit started sounding laughable. It was like she was suing someone for making her do her job. When that excuse fell apart, Blake tried to pad her court complaint with a massive 180-page document of nonsense, hoping the sheer size of it would intimidate everyone into believing her. But instead, it just made her look even more desperate. Lawyers and judges saw it for what it was: a smokescreen. It was an obvious attempt to distract from the fact that Blake had no real evidence to back up her accusations. Judge Lyman, who had to deal with her circus of a case, even called it a PR war rather than a legitimate lawsuit. Judges see stunts all the time in court, but Blake's whole fiasco was on another level. She even tried to force the court to hide certain key documents under something called an attorney's eyes only AEO order. The idea was to make sure only the lawyers could see them. Whispers began circulating about a mysterious $100 million someone connected to her was allegedly willing to spend just to keep that evidence buried. Now, that sure sounds like a bribe, doesn't it? No normal person casually says, We have 100 million reasons to keep this quiet, unless they're trying to use money to change the outcome of something. Naturally, once the rumors spread, everyone started connecting the dots. If her evidence truly showed she was innocent, why would she be trying so hard to make it vanish? Her claim that everything should be hidden because she's a celebrity only made her look worse. She argued that the evidence could hurt her if the public saw it, but that's the risk you take when you file a public lawsuit. You can't just run crying to the judge when things don't go your way. And yet, that's exactly what she did. The law is the law, no matter how many red carpet events you've graced or how many headlines you've been in. Brian Freeman, another lawyer involved in the case, hammered this point home, making it clear that special treatment doesn't apply just because you're famous. Celebrities don't get a separate set of rules. Court is about truth, not status. A jury doesn't care how many fancy dresses you've worn or how many awards you've won. They care about the facts. And if you lie to them, well, they'll see right through it. Once you're caught in one lie, they have every right to ignore everything else you say. And that's exactly what Blake Lively did. She lied repeatedly, and in doing so, she practically sunk her own ship. But she wasn't done. Oh no, she tried to pull out a pair of secret witnesses. Two people who supposedly had issues with Justin Baldoni, yet these witnesses were never named, never officially part of the lawsuit. They were just floating rumors, likely created by her PR team to try and intimidate Baldoni. Even the media, usually hungry for juicy gossip, refused to touch their claims because they were so weak and sketchy. That right there told everyone everything they needed to know. These accusations were flimsy at best. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Blake's team went for a ridiculous smear campaign against Baldoni, accusing him of something called toxic positivity. Yep, you heard that right. They tried to argue that he was too nice to his employees, that his kindness made people uncomfortable. Their big example? He asked staff to sign emails with so much love. They also threw in the fact that he filmed himself handing out clothes to homeless people as some kind of proof that he was a problem. As if kindness and generosity were suddenly bad things. It was such a stretch that it only made Blake's case look more desperate. The more her team tried to spin these absurd accusations, the more ridiculous they seemed. And it wasn't working. If anything, it made people wonder just how far Blake was willing to go to maintain a narrative that no one was buying anymore. Make sure to subscribe for all the latest updates on this unfolding drama. And don't forget to comment below. Let us know what you think about Blake Lively's wild ride.